After declaring martial law earlier in May of this year and extending it beyond July for government troops to counter the ISIS-inspired Maute terrorists, some sectors believe that President Rodrigo Duterte ought to impose another extension beyond December 31. This is necessary for the restoration of the war-torn Marawi city and to quell another armed rebellion threatening to regroup down south. Rocky Ignacio has the details.
For Task Force Bangon Marawi and HAZI Chair Secretary Eduardo Del Rosario, it is better if martial law in Mindanao will be extended. In today's Bangon Marawi briefing, Del Rosario said although the AFP will recommend the possible extension to President Rodrigo Duterte, martial law is vital not to compromise the rehabilitation in the war-torn city. Del Rosario mentioned his position following reports of ISIS recruitment in the area.
We support the statement of Assemblyman Sia. We will be coordinating with the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police so that we can properly assess and make the necessary recommendation to the President as to the extension or not of the martial law in affected areas.
Martial law in Mindanao will expire at the end of the year. Task Force Bangon Marawi spokesperson Zia Alonto Adyong said continued implementation of martial law in Mindanao is now a necessity to prevent a repetition of Marawi's siege, especially that the reconstruction is now on its first phase.
And that would depend on the situation on the ground. No? To say that we want to maintain or to lift, it's still premature because the pre-assessment and its team is still conducting its assessment work, and the military and the police is still continuously doing the retrieval operation in the main battle area or the most affected area. So right now there are reports that recruitment activity is going on, is ongoing. So we really have to decide based on what's happening on the ground. But if I would be asked right now, I think the necessity of maintaining martial law dictates that kailangan talaga dahil may pockets of recruitment pa nangyayari dyan surrounding the lake.
Meanwhile, Del Rosario said they will wait for the final assessment of the damage brought by war in the area. He said this amidst reports that an estimate of 90 billion pesos are needed for the rehabilitation and reconstruction of Marawi City. According to Del Rosario, the final amount will be determined March next year.
Actually, ang iniintay natin, yung resulta ng post-conflict needs assessment. Pagka natapos yun, maipapactor in na natin ang total damages, opportunity loss, and rehabilitation costs. Kukunin natin ngayon itong resulta ng post-conflict needs assessment. Ipapasok natin yung LGU Master Development Plan as well as the Provincial Master Development Plan. Andito ngayon yung Recovery Rehabilitation Plan ng provincial government. Ito still will be subjected to NEDA validation and assessment. So ang hintayin po natin yung final na resulta na Total Comprehensive Rehabilitation and Reconstruction Plan na gagawin ng NEDA.
Presidential Communications Secretary Martin Andanar said that public can be updated about Marawi through bangonmarawi.com. Rocky Ignacio for The Nation.